Hey everybody, I am April with Lulu Blue. I was going to go live, but our internet went down, so I'm just going to make this video and then I'll post it and hopefully be able to go live later or tomorrow and get to talk with a few of you and interact and answer questions. I just kind of wanted to share with you how Lulu Blue was born. I forget that everybody out there doesn't know our story. I forget that there's new people coming in to the page every day and they don't have a clue who we are or why we do what we do. And so I figured I'd share a little bit of my passion and why I am so passionate about what I do. So I don't just make wreaths and pretty things and sell them. I've always been a crafty person ever since I was young, and I've always enjoyed anything to do with creating. And that's just carried forward in my adult life. But I had put that to the side because I was a busy working mom, 4 kids and a husband, and you know, there's just not time to do things that you really like to do or hobbies as much as you would like when your life revolves around your family. So I got really into crafting again this year, about almost 7 months now, because my son passed away. My firstborn. I was a teen mom, and that I'll save that for another video, but I think that whole story would really reach a lot of people and help them through maybe something that they're dealing with. But anyway, I had my son Caleb at 16, and I met my husband when I was 17, and he had a son as well. So we were a ready-made family when we met, and then we had 2 children together. So by the time I was 20, I had 4 kids. And that's not, you know, ideal for most people, but we made it work and we're still together. We just celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary this past Saturday. So we've been together 18 years though. So you never think it's going to be you. You hear that all the time. So the day that Caleb passed away, he was on his way to take his senior finals 4 days before his high school graduation. And he hit some gravel on our road 1.5 minutes from our driveway, and lost control on the gravel, and it was in a curve, and a 1-ton truck was coming from the other direction, and there was a head-on collision. And thankfully he went instantly. I'm so thankful for that. There was no suffering. I didn't have to make the decision to take my child off of life support, and I'm so thankful for that. I feel for parents who have to make that decision, and I think I don't think I could handle that. But anyway, so our oldest son was in the Navy, or is in the Navy, but he had been stationed out in Texas, and we had our son Caleb's graduation coming up, and then we were taking him to Texas for his senior trip for the week, and then we were going to do Chase's A-school graduation, and then all come home as a family. So the day that Caleb passed away, as you can only imagine, there's just no words. So there was a lot to go through and work through, push through. We fulfilled his senior trip. I wasn't really there. I was there, but I wasn't there. if that makes sense. And we watched Chase graduate his training school, and then we all came home as a family, and it just wasn't the same. You know, it just really hit me hard when you look in the rearview mirror and there's 3 kids sitting there. 3. And all these years you've had 4. And there's just a void, and it just will never be fulfilled again. And our whole family dynamic changed within seconds. So, you know, I had a choice. I could either dwell, stay in the bed. Oh, poor pitiful me, I've lost a child. Or I could choose to get up every day, be thankful for the 3 kids I still had, and be thankful for the life that I still have, and choose to make it the best I can every day. It's hard. It's super hard, but I do it. And I don't just do it for me. I do it for my kids. I do it for my husband, friends, family. You know, I'm a positive person anyway. I always have been. And I just can't lay there. I can't give up. You know, it's crazy. A year before Caleb passed away, I had gotten very, very sick, and I had been battling a lot of medical issues. And it got to the point where I had lost use of my legs, and I was in a wheelchair, and I thought then that my life had been flipped upside down. But boy, I didn't even see it coming. You know, and I think about it now and how I was so determined to get up and walk. I was determined that I was not going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I was determined that I would be able to bathe myself without the help of my husband. I was determined that I was going to stand up in front of my stove and cook dinner. So I pushed, and I set goals every day. And I demolished those goals. You know, I did. And I pushed. And I was thankful for every single day. Even if that day was not one of the good days. Even if it was a day that I couldn't even get out of bed. I was still thankful that I had that day. So I got used to my legs back, you know, and I still battle. It's a disease I will never get rid of. It's a mitochondrial disease. My body does not produce energy. And it's a lot, and I'm not going to go into that, but I will. I'll make different videos and share different pieces of the things that I've faced in my life. But, you know, like I said, I just thought that was truly just, wow, what could top this, you know? So, I guess you shouldn't ask those questions because you're shown what can top that. And so just like with being sick and not being able to walk, I chose to face the grief in the same way. I set goals for myself every day. I am gentle with myself. If I need to take a day and stay in the bed, I take a day and stay in the bed. But you know what? I get right back up the next day. I don't stay there. It's okay to get down. It's okay to stay down. But you can't stay there forever. You have to choose to get back up the next day and start over. You have to start every day with a positive mindset. You have to be thankful for opening your eyes another day. Regardless if you're opening your eyes without the use of your legs. Regardless if you're opening your eyes without one of your children. You have to do it. If not for anybody else, you have to do it for you. You have to get up and you have to live. So I chose to live, and that's when I started crafting again. I wasn't able to work. I was dealing with some pretty serious PTSD And, you know, stress causes my disease to really try to knock me down. And boy, was I under a lot of stress. So I wasn't doing good there either, you know, and it's still a struggle. But I do what I can do, and I do it with a smile. And some days I don't smile. Some days I cry, and that's okay. It is okay. No matter what you have to do to get through, it is okay. Now, as long as you're not choosing, you know, to do drugs or, you know, things that are going to harm you or others. So don't go out there and decide you're going to, like, rob a bank or something. That's not good. But, you know, just live. Just live. So I decided that I was going to start a nonprofit, and I did. I decided that I was going to keep my son's spirit alive some way, somehow. And it's just evolved and grown and rolled into what we now call Lulu Blue in 7 months. So it started with, there was a rummage sale coming to town that we do here in our town every year. And I had a bunch of stuff in the top of my building that I have been collecting for a couple of years with intentions of redoing it because it's just one of my hobbies. But as I said, you know, Mama's hobbies get pushed aside a lot. And so I was thankful then that I had that stuff because we got it down, and I was like, well, I'm going to redo this furniture, and we're going to set up at the rummage sale, and we're going to call it Caleb's Movement. And we're going to sell the furniture, and everything that we make is going to go into his nonprofit, and we're going to give a scholarship to an upcoming graduate. And so that's what we're doing. We were able to give a car to a kid in my son's graduating class. That was awesome. We have pretty much done every festival or sale or whatever we could do. And I grew and changed with time. You know, for the rummage sale, it was furniture. And then there was fall festivals coming up, and you can't drag furniture to fall festivals. So, I thought for a few days, and I had made like the farmhouse wood block picture frames for years, just as gifts and stuff. And I'm like, I guess I could make some of those and sign up at these festivals and sell them. So that's what I did. And I literally worked under a pop-up canopy tent in my yard for months until it got too cold on whatever I could make, whatever I could do to sell at a festival to raise money for my son's nonprofit. And it was good. It kept me busy. The kids could help. My husband could help, even though husbands, don't always love honey-do list. That doesn't change when you lose a child. You still need your husband to do stuff. And so we just did it as a family. And we had friends come over. They would help. And we had a lot of people donate stuff. We're so thankful for that. The car that we were able to give was donated. I told people that I was doing the rummage sale, and so much furniture was donated for me to redo. It was amazing. We raised about $700 in one day for our nonprofit for Caleb. And, it's just rolled, and it's like a snowball effect. And when times changed again, I had to change with it. And a friend of mine painted door hangers, and I was like, I will never paint door hangers. Well, she brought a few over to the house because I didn't really have anything to do at the time. I was my wheels were turning, and I was trying to think of stuff that I could do and sell with a season change. And so I really just wanted to paint. I've always loved painting, and I was like, you know what, just bring me some of those door hangers and just let me paint. I'll give them back to you, you can sell them, but I just need it for therapy. So she brought some over, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to paint. I had some wood laying around, and I'm like, I'm going to paint some welcome signs. And so I painted welcome to our porch with a sunflower, and welcome to our porch with a daisy, and they were selling really good and people were wanting them, and I made a bunch of those, and then I would paint the door hangers. And then I was like, wow, you know, I said I would never do these, but this is fun. So I narrowed it down to about 5 different ones, and I painted those when people would order, and it did really, really good. And then I was like, well, you know, time's changing again, and Christmas elves, you can only sell those for so long. So what next? What can I do next to keep raising money for my son's nonprofit? What can I do next to be able to bless somebody else? What can I do next to keep me busy, keep me going, keep me positive, keep me moving, keep me living? What can I do next? So a friend of mine contacted me, and she was like, hey, if anybody can do this, you can. You want to make me a wreath? And I was like, oh, I've never made a wreath before. And she sent me a picture of kind of like what she wanted, and I was like, okay. Well, first time for everything. And I was like, you know what? I don't know about this. I have never touched Deco Mesh. So you go buy the stuff, and I'll make it for free, and you can just have it. Because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm surely not going to charge you for it. So if you want it, and you want me to make it, bring me the stuff. So she did. And she comes in with like 3 bags, and she's like, okay, here it is. And I'm like, okay, great. And so I pulled up a YouTube video. Thank God for YouTube. And I watched a video for about 10 minutes, and I was like, wow, that's really all there is to it? Well, heck, a middle schooler could do that. So I sat down, got all the materials out, and in about 30-45 minutes, she had a beautiful Alabama wreath. And I was like, I can do this. This is my next thing. And a lot of people were like, my gosh, this girl don't know what she wants to do. She's went from furniture to farmhouse decor to hand-painted signs to wooden welcome signs to door hangers and now wreaths. Like, what else? Well, let me tell you something. You cannot grow when you stay in the same place. Okay? Let me say that one more time. You cannot grow if you stay in the same place. You have to keep an open mind. You have to go outside of your comfort zone. You have to try new things. Even if you fail, you didn't because you tried. So, I tried. And I succeeded. And I made a beautiful wreath. And that was my answer to what was next. So, I started making wreaths. And orders came in. And more orders and more orders. And I love it. It was great. And we were at a festival, and a girl from my town was 2 tents down, and she was selling like the floral wreaths and stuff, and I was talking to them about how much that stuff cost and how ridiculously priced a cotton stem is, you know, like 2 pieces of wannabe cotton, $13. Like, I just could not see the profit in doing floral arrangements or floral wreaths. And again, I said, I will never make those. Well, I ate those words. So I was making the deco mesh wreaths, and I was like, you know what? These would be so much better if I could add in some greenery or flowers or, you know, dimension instead of just deco mesh, a sign, and ribbon. And, you know, when you think of something good, you're like, well, ain't nobody else thought of that before. And then you pull it up and it's like the whole world knew it and you just figured it out and you were the last to know. So, you know, wreaths had not been my thing, so I didn't know what was out there. And I come across a couple of ladies' pages, and it was such an inspiration, and their work is just beautiful. So I was on a mission. Off I go. I'm going to find me some stuff to put in my wreaths. And so I found a place to get some stuff at wholesale, or they just do, they help nonprofits. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to check this out. And it was a blessing. And I met the owner. And he took me under his wing for 2 hours. And filled me full of so much knowledge. And I call that path crossing for purpose. He was put in my path for a purpose. He was put there to teach me how I'm going to do my new thing. And he opened the door. And here I am. Now I'm making floral wreaths. So never say never. And I can't say that I won't do something else added to all this. You know, I'm open-minded and I want to grow and I want to live. And I want to do it in a positive way. And in a way that just brings light, positivity, smiles, and happiness to other people's lives. And what better way than creating beautiful art, regardless if it's painting or wreath making or quilt making. I won't say never, but that is not on my list. You know, whatever it is you do, if you are bringing a smile to someone else's face and you are enjoying making what you make, then you're living. So that's how Lulu Blue came about. You know, I decided Caleb's movement, I needed a neutral name, and I was called Lulu as a child by my Mimi and my mom, and I was always Lulu. And blue ribbons went up all over this town for my son when he passed away. And it just hit me. Lulu Blue. It just sounded so good, and it was perfect. Me and him, Lulu Blue. And, you know, I have goals, but I don't know what tomorrow holds. And I've had to face that in a tragic way. I didn't go to work that morning thinking that I was going to lose a child that day. And I never thought I would lose the use of my legs or, you know, all the things that we've been through. You never think it's going to be you. And time again, I've been shown it's you. But it's all in how you respond to that. You can either let it tear you down, or you can let it build you up. And I choose to let it build me up. So that's what Lulu Blue is. Right now, we're doing wreaths and floral stuff. And I'm really, really loving it. It's kind of my niche. I should have never said never. But that's where we are. And I hope y'all stay along for the ride. Everything that I've done, you know, I do it with my whole heart and passion. I'm not just doing it because I put my heart into every single piece I make. I think about the person I'm making it for, or I think about a time in my life that inspired me And that's where I come up with my own creations. So, you know, it's my heart and my soul going into everything that I'm doing, and it's for my family to see that I am living and I'm setting an example for my other children that I'm keeping on. I'm not giving up. Losing my son hurts like hell. I'm not gonna lie. It ripped my heart out, and it felt like my soul too. But I decided that I wasn't going to stay like that. So I focus on others. And I focus on doing what I need to do to live every day. So I'll share more. I've kind of just hit on a few things. But I just kind of wanted you to know where Lulu Blue came from. Why we do what we do. It is to bless other people. I don't keep any of the money that is raised with the sales and stuff. It all goes directly into Caleb's nonprofit. I mean, I do buy supplies and stuff, but you have to if you're going to continue making. But I don't pay myself. It's for other people. My heart is to reach other people. My heart is to help other moms see that you can get up and keep going when you lose your baby. I want to reach as many people as I can and help them through what might be what they think is the hardest time of their life. I want to create beautiful pieces that will bring smiles to other people's faces. I want to gift a child every year with a scholarship to be that door that they needed to open. I want to be able to do a community project in honor and memory of our son. There's so many things I want to do so I can keep living. So I hope if you see me on live, you'll pop on and chit chat with me, or if you see another video you decide to watch and listen, or maybe you like one of our pieces that I've made and you might decide you want one for yourself. So thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes and listening to what Lulu Blue is, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.